After its debut as weightlifting in the Tokyo 1964 Paralympic Games, the sport, now known as powerlifting, expanded from just male lifters with a spinal cord injury to include athletes with physical impairments that affect their lower limbs or hips, or athletes with short stature. Female powerlifters made their Paralympic debut in 2000. Powerlifting is the ultimate test of upper body strength, and you'll often see athletes lifting more than 3 times their own body weight. Powerlifters are split into 10 different categories based on body weight for each gender. Powerlifting consists of one discipline, a bench press. Unlike the able-bodied sport where athletes use their feet on the floor to assist the bench press, Paralympic athletes lie totally flat on a completely different style of bench. Each competitor has 2 minutes to complete their attempt. When the lifter has the bar under full control, they must wait until they receive the command, start. Start! Then they have to lower the bar in a controlled manner and definitively stop it on the chest. Next, they press it upwards, lock out both elbows simultaneously and hold the bar under control until the referees command to wrap. At least 2 white lights are required from 3 referees for a good lift. A red light indicates a bad lift. Athletes have 3 attempts, and the winner is the athlete that lifts the heaviest weight. In the 3rd round, 2 weight changes are permitted. The weight change can be higher or lower. No changes are allowed if the lifter has already been called to the platform by the speaker, and or if the bar has already been loaded. To attempt a new record, it must exceed the previous one set by a minimum of 0.5 kilograms. Where a world record is broken during the actual 3 lifts of competition, the 0.5 kilograms does not count towards the competition total, but is rounded down to the full kilogram. The jury may allow a 4th attempt for a world record. This adds suspense to the competition, as a lifter could break the world record but may not win gold. Powerlifting offers a tense and dramatic spectacle where coaches have to be good strategists as their athletes battle to outlift their rivals.
And here we are ready for day 4 of the 5 of this 2018 World Powerlifting European Open Championship. Salle-Follet in Berck-Sur-Mer up in the northeast of France, near Calais, near Lille, near the Belgian border. France claiming a first gold medal of the championships yesterday. Did a great Saud Gazoy in the women's 73 kg. This is what we have coming up today. 4 gold medals to be decided. The men's 80 kilogram final coming up now. Then we've got finals in the women's 86 kg and over 86 kg. The 2 heaviest weight categories. Women's competition ending today. That kicking off at around 12:15 local time here in France, Central European time. Around 2¼ hours. And then after a quick break, men's 88 kg event, which gets underway at 3 o'clock French time, 1500 Central European time. Two final weekdays of action to come, and a lot shorter as well, will be wrapped up by around 4 p.m. Central European time today and tomorrow, which is a major change from the first 3 days. Now the men's 80 kg start list, we have 10 in it. European champions in the form of Gremislav Moisiadis of Greece and Piotr Przemyślek of Poland. The European silver medalist and world championship bronze medalist in the form of Wawa Łatus of Wyszniak Latus of Poland, and also former European junior champion from 5 years ago, Julien Avon Boumet. Referees for this 80 kg decider: Nikolaos Kazantsis of Greece, Andrea Horvath of Hungary, and Alessia Paruk of Russia. Very successful championships for Ukraine so far. 3 European titles, at senior level and 4 junior. 12 medals overall. Poland have won 2 titles, Turkey 2 at senior level, 3 overall. 3 senior and 4 total. Getting underway for day 4. So here we go into the 4th day of action. Hello again from Will Downing, and we have 10 competing for this men's 80 kg title. Two from outside Europe with open medals up for grabs as well. We're going to start off with Hungary's Thomas Stadler. It's his first major championship, but he did compete in the EGO World Cup in Hungary on home soil last year, where he finished 6th in this weight category. First of 10 to go then, and he's lifting at 138. So Stadler to get us going at 138. And that's all fine. Good lift, and he gets the competition off to a flying start. We've got weights up to 180 in this opening round for Germislav Moisiadis, former European champion. A very solid lift by Stadler. Set an early standard. All largely spot on. So back in position in the warm-up area, and it's a nice start for him. He's never competed at a European Championship before. So second to go for Moldova, Denis Raul, at 155. His target to finish well down the field of the World Championships in Mexico City before Christmas, which was his first Worlds, and at his first Europeans in Hungary 3 years ago. He finished in 7th position in Eger. He's from Jubisari. So 155 for Raoul. It's already got the motions, just has to do it with the bar now. So Raoul at 155. No. 2-1 against. Spanner in the works early on then for the Moldovan. Not much to iron out there.
Thank you. The bar is loaded to 162 kilograms for the first runner from Finland, Kapila.
So Harry Kapila of Finland next to go then, 162. He finished 13th at the World Championships in Mexico City, an improvement on his previous world performances. He was 18th in Kuala Lumpur in 2010 and 16th in Dubai in 2014, so he's getting better all the time. At a world level, finished 7th in the last Europeans 3 years ago. It didn't register a mark at the Euros prior to that. Bronze in the Ego World Cup last year and the FASA World Cup in Dubai this year. So his form has been constantly improving. He's been on the circuit for 17 years now. I happen to think he was probably brushing a fly away there as opposed to his coach. So 162 for Kapila in this opening round, and he had it largely under control. Good lift, 2-1. So he takes the lead. He'll hold it for a little bit. We are going to see another lift at this weight shortly, but he'll still be okay in the head-to-head. Under control and straight. So 162 cleared by Harry Kapila. Next for Morocco, going for the same weight, Abdurrahim El Amari. Kapila has the nod over him in body weight by almost half a kilo. In terms of the head-to-head, if they finish level. haven't seen him at a major championship previously. Well, got it raised and without any problem whatsoever. So El Amari joins Harry Kapila on 162. Good lifts both. El Amari's very good. If he can keep lifting them like that, he'll be well pleased. So now French prospects, having won the first gold of these championships yesterday, Julien Avon Mboume going for 164. The original target was 168. European Junior gold in Alexan in 2013. He finished 5th in the senior competition and 5th in the last Europeans as well. He's been 14th in his last 2 World Championships as well for the Parisian. Wasted no time. In, out, good lift. Thank you very much. Into the lead. See you in 10 minutes. Not a problem to him. Very, very solid start to his campaign. For the home lifter, they'll go 16 kilos heavier than that in the opening round. He'll feel that is a prospect as we see Petr Šemeček come now for Poland. 165 will be his first round effort. Now, we didn't see him at the World Championships or actually the Paralympic Games either for their 2 most recent stagings. But he was European champion in Alexan in 2013. But not a brilliant title defense in Eger as he didn't register a mark 3 years ago. But when he returned there, it was silver in the Eger World Cup last year from Krakow and the Start Tarnów club. 165 for Šemeček. Gives himself a very, very solid chance in the competition by getting this. So 2-1, and Šemeček hits the front. At the very worst, he will be 4th in the European standings at the end of this opening round. Very smoothly executed from the Start Tarnów club. So now the second of the non-European lifters we're going to see in this competition, Ailton Bento de Souza for Brazil. Major championship debut for him. And 66 being targeted by Ailton Bento de Souza. Plenty of concentration, taking his time on the bench. For 166. Doesn't get it. 2-1 against Ailton Bento de Souza. Had to be in control of the lift and probably not horizontal enough. We have 3 to go in this opening round, and still leading Petr Šemeček of Poland, and here's compatriot Babinicz. Watus, 175 his target as well. Silver in the last 2 European Championships and bronze in Dubai at the Worlds in 2014. 6th as best Paralympic finish. Wasn't in Rio. Finished 7th in the Worlds in Mexico City before Christmas from Czeladź. There'll be a bit of a congestion at the top if the next few lifts are good, because we have a couple of 175s and a 180 being scheduled. Uh, 2-1 against Babinicz. Facially, you might say he never really looked the most confident, but he was close to it. Not an immense amount to be faulted, just a couple of ironing out issues. Yuri Babinicz of Ukraine now, also going for 175. No mark in the World Championships in Mexico City. His only other major championship apart from that, the last Europeans, finished 5th in Hungary. From Kharkov. So 175, and he's done that really quickly. That's not always a good thing, but it is here. 3 out of 3. So he hits the front. Yuri Babinicz for Ukraine, who've had a very, very fruitful week. clean lines, and all done without hesitation. So then to round off the opening round, no help required. Getting up the ramp for Gremislav Moisiadis of Greece. European champion in 2013. Very similar to Peter Shevchenko. Different weight category. Went to defend his crown in Eger and did not register a mark. He's been 8th in the last 2 global championships, the Worlds in Mexico City and the Paralympic Games in Rio. Best global result 4th, appropriately enough, in Greece in Athens in 2004. Moisiadis originally looking at 180, but targeting 176 instead now. To take the lead by a kilo from Babinicz. All absolutely spot on by Moisiadis. He leads Babinicz by a kilogram. Has the slightly lighter body weight as well if they get even closer. Moisiadis, who's enjoyed European glory previously. None of the problems of Eger when not a single weight was registered. So he's in control at the top. It's not a huge lead, but it is a lead. As we enter into round 2, and it's Thomas Stadler of Hungary. Cleared 138 last time. Now this is quite an addition. 14 extra kilos on the bar for 152. It's a cracking start to the competition for him. Never went beyond 128 in the World Cup in Eger, and he needed 3 attempts at it in order to get onto the board there and finish 6th. But here he starts off with 138. A little bit tentative on the way down, but forgiving it and given the lift. 152, 2-1 in his favour. Well, that is very, very useful. It doesn't improve his standing in the overall table, but he is 6th in Europe, and that's a great position to be at the moment. It would be a leap of another 10 kilos if he were to climb up. Yeah, good confident lift. So Dennis Raoul of Moldova, who missed out at 155 last time, is going to go for 157 here to give him enough of a margin to play with over Thomas Stadler. Part of the growing Moldovan scene. We've now got 4 international lifters as personal coach Jov Zinaida. Lifted 157 this tally at the World Championships. But he finished well down. Bit more of a strain in getting it raised this time for Dennis Raoul, and it's still 2-1 against. So still yet to register a mark. Now the new pads that the referees have for these championships, which were introduced, it's still part of a trial, but now instead of a white button and a red, they've got 4 no lift buttons which will specify exactly what they feel the fault is. Now we're not told at the moment their findings, but the plan would be that immediately after the lift we'd have a little readout of what the referees felt went wrong. And with their trained eyes picked out, it'll be broken down into 4: body sequence, bar control, chest sequence, and press sequence. It's a lot to watch out for. Elton Bento de Sousa then, for Brazil, going again for 166. Now, considering he was originally aiming for the 4th heaviest lift in the opening round, it's now the 3rd lightest in round 2. He's hit a bit of a speed bump here. Trouble at 166 in the previous round, and it's the same again here. And last time it was 2 and against him. This time it's all 3 red lights up. Bit to iron out. This didn't really look as if there was a major control of it. Harry Kapila of Finland, 162 in the previous round, 166 the target here. Was lying 5th in Europe and 5th in the open competition after the end of the opening round, and this to move him up into 3rd position suddenly into the bronze medal placing. Never won a major championship medal previously, bronzes in World Cup events this year and last.
Good
2-1, and he moves on into the bronze medal position. Harry Kapila, very, very well controlled lift. Just took it handily. The drive through successful. So now French chances can improve. Everybody we're seeing over the next few lifts aiming for a bronze medal position for the moment. 6th last to go in this group. So it's competitive. We've got realistically 8 lifters who can be in the medals still. Approaching the midway point of the middle round. It's the very same as his opening lift. He's really not wasted any time at the bench, and he walks away before the 3 white lights come on to determine that he's flying in this competition. He's in the bronze medal position again. 164, then 169. He's in great form on home French soil. 5th, his highest finish. Previously at the European Championships, he's done it twice. He fancies something a little bit higher this time. Faultless. No struggle. And absolutely no spare seconds being eaten up. Abdurrahim El Amari now, 169 is his target, having cleared 162 in the previous round. Now this to go 4th in the open standings. He's got a heavier body weight than Julien Avon Boom by almost 3 kilos. This to match Avon Boom's lift and to prove to us all and himself that he can do this today. He's flying as well. 2 lifts successfully cleared by Abdurrahim El Amari. Much to admire. Nice and confident. Not a huge amount taken out of him. Still a chance to go a long way in the competition. 162, 169. El Amari is 4th then overall. 170 would have put him into the open bronze position. Peter Szymeczek now for Poland. 172. And this again, looking to put him into the bronze medal placing. His teammate, Vava Watus, missed out in the opening round of 175. So that's opened the door for him and pretty much the rest to have it tilt here at a medal. So 172. And one of these lifters who wants a bit of time to settle because he's under a minute now. Another of the innovations this year, the grip on the bars changed, so it's got a much better grip now. Down to 22 seconds. And 2-1 against. I don't know if there was just a small bit of rushing coming towards the end. Maybe a little halted on the way up. It's absolutely no time being wasted. As here comes the next pole. Borisniak Watus coming out for 175 again. Amalia Surila, the national team coach, basically having to skip around the back quickly. Obviously registering the next round's weight. As they're leaving the stage. Wonder if some of what was said there was to do with the lift we've just seen. $175. All three against. It was for the previous lift by Przemysek, there was an immense amount of Polish applause, and they thought in advance he'd got it, just missed out. You may have noticed there wasn't any after that lift, so no thumbs up from the referees either. So Yuri Babinicz now for Ukraine. 175 he got in the previous round, this for 180 and this for the lead. So the two poles missing out in this round. Watus yet to register a weight, and that's the same for Bento da Silva for Brazil. Babinicz currently in the silver medal position, 1 kilogram behind Gremislav Mosiadis, but this to take a solid lead of 4 kilos. He's not wasted any time whatsoever. On the bench, got the lift, and a good lift. 180 and into the lead, Yuri Babinicz. Well, that's really putting it up to the rest of the competition, and Ukraine's very, very successful week that we've had here. 3 senior gold, 4 junior gold, and that's European titles only. They won 12 medals overall, 7 gold, 5 silver, and including the juniors in that. Very, very capable lift. So the man who's lost the lead, Gremislav Mosiadis, this, the attempt to regain it. He actually would have the nod on the head-to-head, as he is slightly lighter in body weight, Mosiadis, than Babinicz, but he's going for heavier by a kilo, 181. Mosiadis had 3 attempts at 190 at the previous Europeans in Ego, and he missed out with each one, so he started a bit more conservatively. It's probably been the right call, because it was 176 that he lifted successfully last time, 181 here, which he has got 3 out of 3, and he's back in front, Mosiadis, for Greece. Searching and seeking his 2nd European title. That 193 years ago would have ultimately won him a silver medal behind Britain's Mickey Yule, who won gold yesterday. They're in different weight divisions now, and Mosiadis back into the lead. 181 to the 180 of Babinicz. Julien Avon Mboum of France in the bronze medal position right now at 169. El Amari of Morocco is in 4th in the open competition, and 4th in Europe is Harry Kapila of Finland, lifting 166. There's only 3 kilos off the medals, and he is going to have an attempt to break into the medals if he can. And here's Thomas Stadler, 152 and 138 already cleared, and this for 157. He's in 7th place at the moment. This would keep him there, but improve his chances of staying there. Stanis Raoul of Moldova is down for 157 at the moment as well. He's had 2 attempts at that and missed them. Stadler's been successful with his 2, 138 and 152. Stadler's 157. Just going against 2 to 1. It wasn't going to change position for him. Probably needed just a small bit more control in the way up, and literally just that small. Good and full in the warm-up area. So it's going to be very impressive six-way battle for the bronze medals. And assault on the silver too, and then gold and silver. Big joust also. So Dennis Raoul, 162 from Moldova. It looks like he's following the pattern that was originally set out, even though he hasn't had a successful lift so far. 155, missed that. 157, missed that. Going now for 162. Two-one against him for his previous efforts. Both of them. Massive effort to get it raised, and a bit of control lost and stalled on the way up as well a bit. So all three going against, and Raoul denied. That would have put him on the board in 7th position and 6th in Europe. So decisions for Elton Bento de Souza, who's missed his first 2 attempts, both at 166, is to put a little bit more on the board and go for 170. Now this, from here on in, attempts on the bronze medals, and this for the Open. You see as though 2 misses 166. So 170 being targeted now. So Eldon Benton de Souza 170, and this to go into third position for now in the open standings only. And it's not going to happen at all. Having missed out twice at 166, then putting extra poundage in the bar has not paid off for him. Needed a big lift right at the end. And so he finishes without a mark. Same as Dennis Roll. And that's when he knew he was in big, big trouble. Spotters then immediately mandated to leap in. So 7 to go. Another tilt at bronze here for Harry Kapila of Finland. From Rovaniemi. Now those bronzes won at the World Cup in Eger a year ago, and Faza 3 months ago in Dubai. The Faza World Cup that they have every year as part of a big para-sport festival. Para-athletics there as well, and archery. It's 173. Never medalled at a major championship. 173 here would change it, but it is not going to happen. I fear for Kapila. It was quite a leap. It was 7 kilos on top of what he'd achieved previously. 162, 166, misses out 173. 166 his best to date, and he stays 4th in Europe at the moment, which is still an impressive tally, and he felt he had to go considerably higher. Now 170 for him. Would have been fine for the bronze medal position, but with loads more to come, it was obviously an attempt to put pressure on the rest also. Didn't work out for him. Julien Avon-Boumet, 175, as he tries to get into the medals as well. 181 and 180. The top 2 positions for Moisiadis of Greece, Babinicz of Ukraine. Alatis has had a couple of tries at 175 and missed them. Avon-Boumet going for 175 here. But this to go 3rd. be more accurate, to stay third, but to make his position a bit stronger, and he needed the lift to be a bit stronger. He's denied at 175. He might have done enough to get back in the podium. We shall see. 169 he ends up with. It would be his best ever finish at a Europeans, having been 5th in Alexin and Eger. The Parisienne, born and raised in Paris, denied in the first ever major charity to be held in Berck-Sur-Mer. This has been a basketball hotbed before. It was one of 2 basketball arenas in this complex, and there have been French national titles won here. Petr Čemeček then has missed out twice. 165 is best, missed at 172, and this is final effort at 175. And behind the stage I see Babinicz just waiting in the tunnel, having a glance at the TV screens to see how his compatriot will do. Babinicz, who's had the 2 goes at 175. But Čemeček's first at 175, and he missed in the last round with 172, starting off with 165. He's got that raised, but not cleanly. 165 is where he finishes with. And Maris Avila now skipping away because he's got another lifter to take care of, but that's the end of the road for Čemeček, and he is 5th in the European race and 6th in the open competition. Bento de Souza and Raul have missed all of their marks, so they don't register a weight, and that is a fate that Babinicz is looking to avoid. So he's had a couple of 175s that he's missed, and because of the effort by Avanon Bume, who's lighter in body weight than Babinicz, he decided to go for 176. Is 176. Now this to put him into the bronze medal position. It looks like his best lift to date, but it won't curry any favour. He's given it a solid go. May not have actually had it down for long enough. Possibly a slight control issue in the way down as well. So he doesn't register a mark either. So now we're down to the final 3. Avan Mbume does get the European Championship bronze medal. 3 lifters to go. 1 from Morocco, 1 from Ukraine, 1 from Greece. So this will be an attempt to get into the bronze medal position in the Open. And if it's missed, then Avan Mbume will have 2 bronzes. Otherwise, Abdelrahim El Amari, with this attempt at 176, would be beaten only by Moisiadis and Babinicz. Very good first major championship, hence 176. Well, he's given that a good go. Oh, he's got it. He has got it. And it is the Open bronze for Abdelrahim El Amari. And he's the first man to actually have a successful lift in the final round. 176. Marvelous lift. That means 2 medal ceremonies for us then. And he got that absolutely spot on, and all 3 of his lifts have been perfect. 3 out of 3 for all 3. 162, 169, 176, quite solid margins between the weights too. That's a very, very good combination. So Yuri Babinicz of Ukraine. And this for the European gold. Which I guess is why we've just heard a European gold medalist there. Look at that. Well, he never wastes any time on the bench. And he is in the gold medal position. Babinicz for Ukraine. They're having a great week. And that might be another gold for them. Well, he has been successful with every single lift himself. And that 185. That was a fantastic lift. Final lift of the competition. And again, 185 would have been fine for Moisiadis. He'd have had it on the head-to-head, but he wants to lift more. 186. He's been good with his 2 attempts so far. Just like Babinicz. And just like El Amari. So if he gets this, the top 3 in the Open competition, top 2 in Europe, every single lift will have been good for them. European record holder for Vizniak Latus not registering a mark. And a past master with a European silver and a world bronze, but no final placing for him. So, Moisiadis, 186. And this for the gold. And it's a struggle, but it was raised. And he is the European champion. Gremislav Moisiadis for Greece. 186, and every single lift was spot on. And 3 out of 3 from the officials every single time. Moisiadis, Babinicz, and El Amari, every single lift perfect. And he is the European champion for the 2nd time And it was just by virtue of maybe going in slightly too heavy 3 years ago that he didn't win the European gold there. Certainly a medal would have been on the way to him had he judged it right. But he has here. Terrific lifting. 176, 181, 186. Gremislav Moisiadis is European champion for the second time. Silver for Yuri Babinicz of Ukraine. And then a divergence over the bronze medals in terms of the European and the Open competitions. Julien Avanambume with the European bronze and Abderrahim El Amari with the Open bronze. Medal ceremony is on the way. So the medal ceremony then for the men's 80 kg. Good competition. And it's the open ceremony first.
Maire adjointe en charge de l'enseignement à la ville de Berck-Sur-Mer, Monsieur Zaman, vice-président World Para Powerlifting. Médaille de bronze représentant le Maroc.
So the open ceremony and the bronze going to Abdurrahim El Amari. Now, the three on the podium here had no unsuccessful lift. Every single one was perfect.
Médaille d'argent représentant l'Ukraine.
It's silver for Yuri Babinicz of Ukraine. His first major championship medal. And remember, for the European lifters, they'll get two of these. This, the Open. The European ceremony's on the way. If only, from a Ukrainian point of view, that the silver medal was going to Kremislav Moisiadis. But it's Yuri Babinicz instead. And what a pressure he kept up all the way through. 175, 180, 185. Took the lead in every round until our eventual champion lifted next each time.
Médaille d'or et nouveau champion d'Europe Open représentant la Grèce.
And it's gold to Kremislav Moisiadis, European champion for the second time. And what lifts? 176, 181, 186. Edging past Babinicz each time by a kilogram. And we'll hear this twice. The Greek anthem for Moisiadis. And he'll be back for the European medal ceremony shortly. Kremislav Moisiadis with the gold medal. He will return. So the same faces to emerge for the European medal ceremony.
Mesdames, Messieurs, cérémonie protocolaire, remise des médailles des championnats d'Europe, messieurs, catégorie moins de 80 kilos. Laissez accueillir les médaillés.
Same gold and silver medalist. The man in third changing, and another medal for France.
Médaille de bronze, représentant la France.
Julien Avon Mbume with 169. And he only missed his final attempt at 175. But it would have been as you were anyway. He still would have won bronze in the European Championship and would have been fourth in the Open behind El Amari. And it's the same two silver and gold medalists who've decided to keep their silver and gold medals from the Open ceremony, which is their prerogative.
Médaille d'or et nouveau champion d'Europe, représentant la Grèce.
Gramislav Moisiadis, European champion in 2013 and now again in 2018. Held the pressure off from Babinicz. And Greece have their third title of the week. Two senior, one junior. Paskalis Koulamoglu winning the 59 and Moisiadis the 80. So again, the national anthem of Greece. Well, that was a thumping competition with the lead ebbing and flowing, and in that final round, 7 going for the medals, which is just what you want to see. Nothing cut and dried until the final lift. And only 3 successful lifts in the final round. And it was the 1, 2, 3 in the Open who got those. Avon Mbume was denied 175, but as I say, that bore no relation to the finishing order. So France, the host nation, with another medal on the board. Next up, we've got 2 women's events being run alongside each other. The up to 86 kg and the over 86 kg. They're both coming on the way, and that will be at 12:15 Central European time. So we'll be back in little under an hour. Until then, take care.